This is the second year that the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development in Limpopo are hosting this Farmers' Day. The topics that are covered on the program, it will be the red water disease, buying and selling in auctions, and also the stock theft, and many other topics will be covered. Please come and join us. I'm here at a Farmers' Day in Bela Bela, Limpopo. The Farmers' Day is being hosted by the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. With me, I have Mr. Jones Moraga. What is the value of this Farmers' Day to the Department of Agriculture?
The value of this Farmers' Day, it creates a platform for emerging farmers to can participate in the red meat industry, a sector which has been dominated by white commercial farmers previously. And it also assists our farmers to fetch better prices which are market related. So we saw it fit to organize this Farmers' Day in collaboration with the auctioneers so that we can impart knowledge on the type of breeds which are selling at a good price, so that, as well as the nutritional part of it, the animal health aspect. It encompasses everything that will make sure that we are producing animals which are good performers in the market.
With the recent outbreak of foot and mouth disease and the bird flu in the country, what measures has the department put in place to prevent the spread of the disease?
As a department, we saw it fit to make campaigns. We invited farmers to make awareness, and we also invited the auction owners to the meeting to make sure that we put in place biosecurity measures. As you can see, each and every auction pen has to have the spraying areas where animals, when they bring their animals, they have to be sprayed. The food bath for people to make sure that as they step in, they are being fumigated. So another thing which we have made is to make sure that we are controlling the movement of animals by issuing permits through our veterinary section. And we are also engaging our animal health technicians together with the extension officers to go and monitor at various farms to ensure that there are no signs of any disease before they are brought to the auction. And biosecurity is a compliance issue. As the animals arrive at the auction sales, the state vets and the private vets which are being brought in, they inspect each and every animals by opening the mouth and see if there are lesions of any signs of foot and mouth, and animals which does not show any signs of that is allowed to be sold. But those that are showing signs of illness are returned back. With the bird flu, we have created awareness to all the poultry farms to make sure that they comply to the biosecurity. The same applies, all the trucks that are bringing feed, they are being fumigated at the gates. The staff, they have to shower and put on protective clothing which is on the daily basis, and they don't move from one farm to another. So those are the measures as government which have put in place to ensure that there's no spread of diseases around this area.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, how is the procedure going?
I can safely say it's going perfectly. I can rate it up to 9 because there's room for improvement. It's an ongoing process. We are also taking blood samples randomly from different farms and sending those samples to the lab to try to detect any trace of diseases. And then we are also vaccinating animals around the farms.
Okay. At a recent ARC and the Department of Agriculture conference, it was stated that biosecurity is going to be a law that is mandatory. In this regard, what is the department? What is the vision on this law?
You are very right to say in the previous conference, it was mentioned that biosecurity laws are mandatory. What we have done, like I said, we are engaging all the role players, be it farmers, be it abattoir owners, be it auctioneers around the table. And we've ensured that they put up structures to ensure that the biosecurity measures are put in place. The department also made available some funds to revamp the institutions such as Honest Report to make sure that we do have sufficient vaccines so that we vaccinate all the animals as the department to assist the farmers to prevent. We're also engaging our vets to go and monitor and inspect animals and issue permits. There's also, for traceability, we are helping our farmers to brand and to tattoo their animals so that we can trace all the animal movements and to ensure that when they come to the auctions, all the measures are adhered to. The same applies to in the poultry industry. All the farms, they are spraying rays, they are food bath, and there are areas where the trucks, when it comes, it drives through the bath.
Yes.
And in that way, that's our vision. We want to see if it's possible, based on the budget, to make sure that even in our crush pens, which are in the rural areas and communities, and all those sprays are done, all the biosecurities, and then even the farms, they will encourage them to put the boards and then to conscientize people that they are entering a biosecurity areas. So our vision is to make sure that we dip our animals regularly to avoid parasite which can bring diseases, and we also vaccinate. We take blood samples on a regular basis, and we create awareness, which is very, very important for farmers to know about the diseases, because they have the role to play. They must also be part to assist the department in achieving this vision.
All right. On one last question that I have for you is, we see that stock theft is on the rise. I can just say in the country generally, but in this area of Limpopo, what does the department have in place to reduce stock theft?
We are working closely with the stock theft unit, the subs, and to make sure that we are trying to reduce this problem of stock theft. We are helping our farmers to get the brand mark certificates to brand their animals, to tattoo, and to make sure that whenever animals are moved from one farm to another, the permits are being issued. And with that collaboration, there are roadblocks which the subs is doing, and they're inspecting all the documentation to make sure that we limit this thing. And all the animals that are being sold to various auction sales, you cannot sell your animal if you are not having a registered brand mark. So in that way, we are reducing the stock theft activities in our area.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moraka. Thank you so much. I'm sitting here with Mr. Paul van Vuren from Andre Kok, Limpopo. Sir is an expert in biosecurity. Please highlight why it is important that livestock producers implement biosecurity measures.
Hello, Beauty. Thanks for the interview and to the listeners. First of all, I'm not an expert. I'm only a farmer, and I'm also an auctioneer. But we did an in-depth study about biosecurity with Dr. Hendrik Hansen, Mr. Willem van Jaarsveld, and two other veterinarians, and also various people in the world about firstly foot and mouth disease and how to minimize our risks with foot and mouth disease. That's why we started the FMD forum. The FMD forum was started just after the outbreak of foot and mouth in I think it was 18 or 19 in Limpopo. And after that we did a study and we came to a conclusion that biosecurity measures at auctions must be implicated on a high level. And we came together with the government, and after a year of struggles and toughness, we managed to got the Biosecurity Act proclaimed by the government. So it's a law now that every auction in South Africa must be fully complied with all the biosecurity rules, like you've seen on this premises. Spray booths for the cars and trucks that are offloading animals, spray booth for people, food bars for your food, and then also for your feet, and then also compliance where you can't, the local guy that comes to the auction and sells, you can just offload and then you have to go into the building. You cannot walk through the animals and touch the animals. You can only go by the walkover, and then you also enter a food up. So biosecurity measures is very strict at the auctions. We also, when they offload the cattle, there's biosecurity officers that are veterinarian, that are registered with the veterinarian department, and they are looking at all the tongues of the cattle. And in the last 5 years, we've drawn blood of about 200 animals that was suspicious of FMD, and luckily all the blood came back negative. So that's the reason why we want to do biosecurity, because of the value that it gives our animals. At the moment, we are closed for the world because of FMD. We cannot sell, our animals can't go to Botswana, can't go down to Namibia, can't go to any place else. There's a ban on our animals. It's just on a small scale that we are at the moment exporting meat to Saudi Arabia and to China, but that's a bilateral arrangement. But the whole of Europe are closed for us. We cannot export meat because of foot and mouth. So if we can think biosecurity, and like it's a law now by the auctions that must comply with all the biosecurity rules, like you've seen on the premises, then if it can went out to the feedlots, to the slaughtering poles, and to the farmers, then I think we will solve the issue quickly, because every time there's an outbreak of foot and mouth, we have to start another 24 months waiting period before we can apply for clearance by the OIU to be cleared that we can export our meat to that countries. So it's value added. The biosecurity, if we can do it in the country all over, then we are going to put a big value on our animals. At the moment, South Africa is one of the countries that produces meat. Meat is protein, for the cheapest in the world. So, like for instance, a wiener in America go between $4 and $6 per kg. Now, if you work it out, it's going to say 19 times 6. What is it? It's over nearly 110, 111 rand per kg live weight. If we go out to South Africa, you are battling to getting 35 rand a kilo for your wiener. And traditionally, South Africans farmers are cattle and stock farmers, but especially cattle farmers. So for us as farmers in South Africa, if everybody can comply by the rules, even if at your farm gate, if you can just build a wheel dip for your cars and the people have to climb out and put their foot in because you don't know where that guy come from. Was he in the Kruger National Park for a holiday? He's coming out. Where's the virus? So, but nothing is 100%. You must know all what we are doing here is just measures to minimize our risk. And that is the thing of biosecurity. It's minimizing our risk. And if the whole country can do it and the world can see but what's going on in South Africa, feedlots are complying, slaughter poles are complying, the farmers are complying, the auctioneers are complying at the moment. I think if you can broaden it up, then I think our chances to clean out the disease are much better than it's now at the moment, with just the auctioneers must do biosecurity, and some of the auctioneers they do it halfway. They're not really prepared to do it full way. So even if there's a law about that, so I just think that we need to, as a country, we need to come together and apply this. I won't say a law, a self-inflicted law that we have to do biosecurity, like you've seen on this premises. You don't have to build big sprays if you only got 20 cattle, but at least build a wheel dip and a football for every visitor that come to your farm. I know in the rural areas it's difficult. There's a lot of cattle of different people running together, but I think at the rural areas where you can enter, we can build spray booths for that type of problems. So any vehicle that comes in and goes out in that area must go through that spray booth. And you just minimize your risk, and that's the whole thing about biosecurity.
Right, thank you so much. You did mention that because of the FMD, you are now not allowed to export our beef cattle or outside the country. How is it affecting the farmers and the auctioneers as well?
It's affecting us in the matter of the prices. So before FMD hit the country in 2019, the wieners were 50 Rand a kilo. Today, the wieners are 34 Rand a kilo, and we are 5-6 years down the line. Inflation rate have gone up, everything have gone up, but calf prices went from 6 years ago to today, calf prices went down. So, say for instance, we were clean and we didn't have the issue of foot and mouth, then I think that it was a total different. Then any animal that you will bring to an auction or sell out of hand will go a good price, because we could export that animals to every part in the world, and that can help us a lot.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for coming by and having the interview with us. We really appreciate it.
It's a
that
pleasure.
was Mr. Paul van Veren from Andre de Kock in Limpopo. I'm standing here with Kelima Kopela from the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
If I may ask, what really inspired for you to host this Farmers' Day today?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, remember our mandate as the Department of Agriculture is to groom farmers, food producers. So what we have realized is that there's so much need. Our farmers lack some one or two skills, to become, those excellent farmers. So the reason for this kind of meetings, Farmers Days, is to share information and to make sure that we keep them up to date. Yeah, with the day-to-day, updates within the farming community.
Now, how did the department get involved with Paul?
Yeah, Paul, because he's managing Andre Krok auctions, on every Wednesday we interact with the auctions in the country. So our officials on every Wednesday, whenever there's auction, they are here to make sure that if there are any sick animals, if there's any other animals which needs to be branded, we make sure that they are able to help. So from that relationship, we thought we could just take it forward, to make sure that we involve the same auctioneers, to help us, because they already have a clientele which is coming here every Wednesday. And then we took advantage of that. Now we are able to share more information.
All right. I understand this is your second Farmers Day. What was the feedback from the first Farmers Day? How was it like?
Yeah, the feedback, it's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Even today's event, we already received a lot of accolades and thanks from the farmers, because this is an opportunity where we are able to share. You have also seen that we allow them to ask questions and all that. So it's a very, very good interactive program. So from what we did last year, even for today, we've seen a growth, maybe almost extra 50% of people who attended last year. And our intention is to even grow it much bigger, to reach more people, more farmers, and to make sure that our country is food secured.
That's very impressive. That's very impressive. I saw on this Farmers Day, the turnout was really good. So what's in plan? What's on the pipeline for the next Farmers Day?
Yeah, our plan with Andrew Koch is that this is going to be an annual event. We have already agreed on that. So next year, around about March, we're here again, and with even bigger and more other presenters and people will be demonstrating outside. Our wish is to even get more other agricultural companies, on board, because this is a platform where we are able to attract so many people, so that we make sure that our farmers are up to date with the latest developments in agriculture, because we know that now agriculture is a huge business, and that we shall be creating platform for private companies, to sell their products.
All right, baba ke masibhekile nje sibheka la ama-farmers, ama-upcoming farmers. Uyabona ukuthi lokho elikwenzayo ukuthi bathola yini usizo ukuthi kuyabajabulisa na kulokho elikwenzayo?
Yebo, sis. Seba sekeria more, they are very, very happy. And in terms of everybody more benefit mo go bona. Some people babatlang mo Farmers Day, they are not yet farmers.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have seen so much interest from people who just attended, who were baba invited and fella to come to the Farmers Day, and then they get into farming space. So it's so interesting, I think, for everyone. As you also might have heard. Now they are asking this kind of thing even direct into the communities. Yes. So we already have, a task to make sure that we move into those communities. So really, the acceptance from the farmers is awesome.
All right, that's really great. I want one last question that I want to ask. Is it any plans that you're gonna move to other provinces, or it's only gonna be Bela only?
Yeah, remember from the provincial side,
yes.
And as a zone, we are restricted to Bela.
All right.
Yeah, to Bela as a municipality. Yeah, but we are sure that if there is any need, we will always collaborate with the neighboring provinces.
Yes.
Yeah, because once we identify the need, and that need is outside our space, we also have same departments, same programs. Because remember, we are running programs from our national office. So yeah, it will be easy for us to also help those who are outside the province because of our interaction and our working collaborations with our sister provinces.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
It was really a pleasure for you to invite us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. That was Kili Ramakopela from the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development in Bela, Limpopo.